Monday. Let's work on the schedule. It's kind of blurry. Like, that's not blurry. That's blurry. Okay, 12 to 1. That's what I think I want to do. Is that what it is? I bet you that has something to do with it right there. Yeah, okay. Okay, today's schedule. Yeah, we're going to discuss, but also during this discussion, I'm going to be doing administrative work too. I have some things I need to do. And we'll make that happen. Maybe, maybe I should put 1300, huh? People will be excited about that. Dash 1400. Yeah, I want to play a game. Okay. Mass Effect. Mass Effect, Marvel Heroes, Xenonauts. Game by request, maybe. Maybe we do a game by request. Choices are Mass Effect, Xenonauts, Marvel Heroes, or Heroes in the Sky. Okay. At 2:30, possibly to 3. I'm kind of guessing here. Phone call. No. I'll be out there for a little while. Hmm. Hey, welcome to the channel, guys. I'm still getting kind of setting up the schedule for today's activities. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do gameplay requests. I think I'm going to actually just plug in a game to each of these slots because I think... Hmm. I think I'm going to play Mass Effect there. I haven't been recording or uploading any of my Xenonauts because they have, I've gotten to a point, I don't know, like 40 saves or something like that. And it's getting kind of, not repetitious, but just nothing's, no like technology's advancing to the point where I need to kind of like show it off. Except for now, I've gotten to a point where I've got some pretty heavy power armor, and I've got this drop pod ship, flight suits, and so I might start videotaping Xenonauts again. I also might do a little painting today. See, I got so many things I want to do today. I do have to get off the air. Yeah, that's definitely a... Can I just bold the... No, I can't. Okay. Yannick, sorry. And as the day goes on, the schedule is going to shrink, obviously. But let me see here. Heroes. Mass Effect. There's really only time for like one game of something right there. Because I do usually play for about an hour and a half. Whoa, no, there's a big gap there. Hold on. Yeah, if I play by hour and a half. Marvel Heroes. Can I underline just that? No. Yeah, that works. That looks better. Okay, what game should I play? I was thinking I was going to play Heroes in the Sky, but I don't really want to play Heroes in the Sky and then jump straight into Star Citizen Arena Commander. You know what I mean? That's a lot of flight sim all at once. Okay, what are some of my choices? I could paint during that time, actually. Well, maybe not paint, but build models and paint and junk like that. Eat. Eat, paint, and be merry. No, I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't really. How about just Robotech minis? That's really what I'm doing is I'm building and priming. Okay. Now that we've got today's schedule, it doesn't need to be so big. Trying to see exactly how big today's, if that's too small. No, I think that looks good. Okay, that's a good size. Just checking the sound to make sure that everything's going through okay. Sure. All right, we're discussing Star Citizen, right? We've got about 15 minutes till we start. Yeah, I've got a couple of things I want to say about Star Citizen. Mostly good about Star Citizen, but I do have some topics that I want to talk about that are bad, or not bad, but just things I want to talk about. Nothing too outlandish, Plus, we're going to discuss the channel, the YouTube channel, the Twitch channel, future of the channel, I should say. We're going to talk about my organization. We're going to talk about could put an agenda like right here, not just a daily schedule, but maybe like an agenda of what we're going to talk about today. But yeah, I'm not worried about it. Now I've got some Pop-Tarts over here that just got cold. I don't want you to sit here for 10 minutes. So I'll make my Pop-Tarts in anticipation of the show. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, okay, and it fits here. Without it overhanging and stuff. Okay. Hey, welcome to the channel. Appreciate you stopping by.
We'll really get into it here about 5 more minutes. Should probably take some notes because I had some good ideas. And I don't want to forget them. I don't want to forget to discuss them. Wow, that's loud. Yeah. I'll be talking to them later today. I don't need to be talking to them right now. Hmm. Okay. I don't know if that's all. I know I'm forgetting something, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and start. All right, guys. Hey, and thanks for coming out and checking out this video. What I do plan to do in the future, and this is something that I just want to spend a little bit of time talking to you guys, you know, relaxing, sitting back, waking up in the morning, and just kind of just sharing your lunch with you if you are watching from lunch or whatever. Just kind of basically just taking an hour and kind of just shooting the shit with you guys, okay? Just you know, just throwing information out or whatever. And if you guys want to start a discussion and chat with me in the chat roll, you just go right ahead and do that, and we'll see what we can do about responding to those comments, okay? So first thing I want to know or tell you is that we're live on Twitch, right? We're as you probably already know, if you follow my channel on YouTube or if you follow me here on Twitch, I do a lot of computer gaming. I do a lot of shows like this where we just sit and we talk and we discuss. I also do some administrative work for my squadron online, and anytime that I'm sitting at my computer and I'm working on something game related, be it either even if it's even if it's doing work for the squadron, if it's game related, I'll go ahead and broadcast it, right? Unless it's top secret information, then, and it's something that the squadron or other squadrons shouldn't see, then of course I'll be off the air and I won't be showing anything to anybody. Or I'll still be broadcasting, but I won't have what I'm doing on the screen. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. But what I'm trying to say is, I put a lot of content up on Twitch, okay? Because that's where I'm live streaming. Even though YouTube does have a live stream, it's not as easy as Twitch to live stream. All I have to do is start my broadcaster, change the name of the topic we're going to be talking about, and go. Where in YouTube, to do a live stream, you have to, there's a few other buttons you have to press, and it's not overly complicated, but it's just a little bit more of a hassle, right? Twitch has a lot. I think Twitch has a lot more viewers that are interested in seeing something live, and so because when I think of watching somebody doing something live, game related, I'll go to Twitch. I usually go to Twitch. And so I just assume that everyone else does also. I probably should put up a poll or something somewhere. But yeah, that's what I assume. So I will live stream to Twitch. Now, in the process of live streaming to Twitch, it also records my video for viewers to watch at a later time. Okay. But I am not a partner with Twitch. See, here's the clincher right here. I'm not a partner with Twitch because my viewership on Twitch is usually, to be honest, around a dozen or less, and they want to be a partner on Twitch. They want hundreds of viewers on your channel at any one time. And I don't get hundreds of viewers on Twitch. So the partnership there is not available to me. But on YouTube, I have videos that I've got some videos that are close to 50,000 views. And I've got thousands and thousands of subscribers. And I've got millions of views on my videos. So YouTube has offered me a partnership. Now, of course, I accepted it. And if Twitch offered me a partnership, I'd accept it too, to be honest. And because the definition from these companies of partnership is you get reimbursed for your efforts. Okay, and so in Twitch, I am doing it 100% for free. All right, where it's I'm doing it because I enjoy it, and I like engaging the community, and and we go back and forth, and we have comments, and it's just, to me, it's fun. Okay, and same thing with YouTube. YouTube, every video that I've ever uploaded, I haven't uploaded. I'm going to take that back. There are some early videos when I was the owner of a airsoft store called the War Room. The War Room. No, it wasn't the War Room. It was Screaming Eagle Airsoft. Okay, Screaming Eagle Airsoft was my online airsoft website where you could go and order airsoft equipment and stuff like that. Okay, so I made a bunch of videos specifically with the intention of advertising my website, screamingeagleairsoft.com, and so I did reviews for guns and went to games and played those games and videotaped them, and we had some
tutorials and things like that, but they would always link back to my website. Where in YouTube, I don't do that. I mean, not anymore. I don't do that anymore because I don't have that website anymore. I don't have any for-profit organization that is out there that I'm linking anything to, right? So the only thing I'm linking stuff to now is my unit organization, which is a Star Citizen squadron in Star Citizen. It's a guild. It's a clan. It's a group of guys that are working together as teammates, to play in Star Citizen, and that's this organization right there, the 1st Royal Aerospace Squadron. That is my my squadron. I link to that because I don't have any for-profit endeavors on YouTube. Now, do I still get profit from YouTube? Yeah, I get a little bit. It's actually super small, okay, because I'm not actively advertising in YouTube. I'm basically just I click on, what do they call it, the monetization, which means that if anybody clicks on any of the advertisements, that those advertisers will pay pennies on the dollar. I mean, like maybe 1 cent per click or something like that. And when they and what am I making? Maybe less than $50 a month on these videos, right? So I mean, it's not like it's a huge amount, but that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I enjoy it and I have fun doing it. Okay. Well, just recently I've run into some financial problems, some troubles, some anguish. And so and fortuitously, YouTube has just opened up an option for me called, what is it called? It's called crowdfunding, or funding, audience funding. I don't even remember what it's called. But what it is there's a little button, oh, wrong side. There's a button that's right up there. It looks like the little info sign with the eyeball on it. If you were to click it, it's going to allow you to not sure I understand what you're saying there. So did you say you can't see it? Is that what you meant to type? That you can't see it? Well, all you gotta do is hover over the. Well, you can't see it in Twitch. It only appears in some videos in my YouTube because I have over like 1,000 videos. I have like almost 1,500 videos on YouTube, and I spent a couple of hours last night going through some videos and adding that, because you have to actually physically go in and click a button, right? And actually got to click like 3 buttons to get there. You got to bring up the video, you have to edit the video, you have to click cards, then you have to click on which card you want and submit it, and then you go back to the beginning, which is a bunch of backspaces, right? And then you do it all over again for the next video, and then you go back and you do it all over again for the next video. So I must have put it on probably maybe 50 videos, 100 videos, something like that, maybe. And from now on, any more videos that I create or upload or whatever, I will have that little. I'll put that on there. And what that allows you as an audience member to do is, if you do enjoy my videos, and if you want to help me out with my situation, and you want to maybe make this channel better, you can support it. You can support me, and you can support the channel by selecting that icon. Now, if you don't, no big deal. Don't worry about it. I don't care. I mean, I do care, but I understand because you might be in the same situation I'm in, or you don't, or maybe you just don't like the channel or whatever. You don't like me. It's possible. So I don't take offense by that. So if you want to, if you if you don't want to back, that's cool. But if you do want to back, I really appreciate it, and that helps me out. Now, over the Christmas, a few months back, over Christmas, I had this plan that I was going to get a Blue Yeti, right? And I kept putting it off and putting it off. It's a microphone, it's a professional microphone. You see a lot of people using them. For various reasons, maybe a boom mic stand or maybe a desk stand or something with this Blue Yeti, so I don't have to continue to use my webcam as my microphone. I mean, I have a headset and it does have a microphone on it. This microphone software has a problem on TeamSpeak in that it sorry, I have an itchy ear. Where on TeamSpeak, it actually has static. I mean, it doesn't have it often, it doesn't have it all the time, but there are times, and I found this out by going back and listening to some of my videos where I was talking to people on TeamSpeak or using my microphone. After about 30 minutes of using it, because I play online a lot, so we play more than 30 minutes. So after like 30 minutes, it starts going, for about a minute and a half. Then it stops, and everything's back to being perfect. So this it was great until I realized I don't have to use this. I've got a mic on my webcam that's just as good, if not better than this mic, and I don't have to always wear this headset to talk or whatever like I am now. I don't have to wear it. I can just talk to my camera. So I'm definitely using the camera all the time. Now, there was a time when I had a different webcam, an old Logitech? Yeah, I think it was a Logitech also, actually. But it was like a little small ball type webcam, and its microphone pretty much sucked. And I had, on my broadcasting software, I had boosted the gain on the microphone to the point where you could hear me, right? But when I switched webcams, which effectively switched the microphones from this bad microphone to a pretty good microphone, what had happened was my voice was so loud, it was blaring, and when I did the editing of the video, I'd be like, man, this microphone's awesome, and I totally forgot that I was recording. I was using voice gain on the broadcasting software. So now that I've turned the voice gain all the way off, and hopefully that fixed some of my microphone problems, but still, I do want to get that Blue Yeti, and instead of getting the Blue Yeti, what I decided to do is get a high definition camera instead. And so yeah, I mean, if you want to help me improve the channel, please, on our YouTube videos, especially the new ones, there's going to be, and included in the future, there's going to be a support Akoto Derek, and that's my YouTube name. If you support Akoto Derek, that Akoto Derek is like when I started YouTube like 5 years ago, or maybe longer, really about 5 years ago is when I really started YouTubing. That was my email, right? I had an Akoto Derek email, and since then I've realized that was really my work/business email, and then I made a brand new email specifically for gaming situations, like when I apply for beta accesses, or if I'm emailing any kind of online gaming company, or if I'm setting up a new password for an online game, or when I'm buying games and stuff like that, like on Steam or whatever. I changed my name to Mr. Everything, because that's my online handle for everything, right? So Well, hey, long time. Uh, and so I've changed it to Mr. Everything so that it's easier for me to find any game related emails. I just go straight to that email. And then if I have any other like work related or job related emails or just other friends that aren't really gamers or whatever, that goes to my Akoto Derek email. And but when I set up my YouTube, it was Akoto Derek. So that's my name there. Even though I still call myself Mr. Everything Everywhere, if you see that Akoto Derek, that's what it is. So yeah, so you can click on the thing and button right there, and you won't see it until you see YouTube because I'm a partner with YouTube, not Twitch. But Twitch I can stream live. Now, are you asking me like what this hanger is behind me? If that's what you mean. Okay. Well, okay. So I'm sorry I got all kind of caught up on the Twitch and YouTube kind of thing, but let me continue on, finish this off because we've got quite a bit of time and I want to kind of just go over it all. I am going to take this video and I'm going to upload it to YouTube. So if you ever want to watch any of my YouTube videos, you're more than welcome to go to YouTube and check those out. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm live streaming on Twitch, where um, you can comment and chat with me, and we can go back and forth. And if you're asking about the photo that's behind me, it's um, it's not a screenshot. It's actually concept art done for Star Citizen. Um, And I don't think that it's crappy. If that was a word that if you're referring to this hanger behind me, um, in my personal opinion, I think it's banging. I think it's an awesome screenshot, and I use it for a lot of different things. It's not a screenshot. I'm sorry. It's concept art. There is a second one that goes along with it. It comes at a different angle, like from this side looking back behind me this way, so you can see it basically like we're on the right side right now. The other concept art would be from like the left side, and you get kind of cross section view. But either way, it's just a still painting, you know. I mean, look at this guy right here. He's like stationary, you know. He's not moving or anything, right? And of course he's not, because it's just a painting. I mean, and I put things behind me before, like in-game, like constellation chair, or I'd be sitting on a constellation chair, or I'd be sitting inside of a hangar, or sitting in front of a whatever, this or that. So it's
For those of you that are watching the channel right now, I'm taking a look at some of these pictures that he put up as a link. Some reason he really likes Ryla, you know, an alien planet.
that's your opinion. You know, I'm more of a space, less of a environment person. You know. Well, I don't think so. I could care less about Ryla. And if you're anticipating Ryla, then you go right ahead and anticipate Ryla. You know, that's fine. I could care less about Ryla. Ryla's a Sheehan planet, and who cares? But I know everybody's got different opinions, and different people are anticipating different worlds for different reasons, and it's just not something that I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited to go to Ryla because it's an alien world, and I'm excited to see what CIG does with it and how they put up different architecture and stuff like that, and maybe interact with the locals and all that stuff. I'm excited to do that once. And then once I'm done with it, it'll be done. I'll be done with it. You know, unless I've got a quest or something that requires me to go back there, I probably won't go there. But yeah, I'll go there. I'll go there every now and then to kind of just see if anything's changed and stuff like that. But Ryla's not. Ryla's not one of the worlds that I'm super jazzed about, you know. But that's cool. You know, there's going to be over 100 different systems, and they've only talked about 20 of them. You know, something like that. So we've got a long way to go. There's going to be tons of planets, tons of systems. You know, Ryla's just one of them, and whatever. Okay, but so let me get back to my discussion. Now, Twitch and YouTube, right? As you know, that I film a lot of stuff live on Twitch, and then I also record it at the same time, and I upload it to YouTube. Well, I'm not recording right now because I plan to just take the video straight from Twitch and just upload it straight to YouTube. So, but I am gonna start not a new series. I'm gonna reboot an old series. I have this. I'm not going to call it a talk show. Well, it kind of is a talk show, but it's more like tutorials, where I used to. Okay, let's back up. I used to have this show called Know It All because I wanted to be funny, and I wanted to like give my audience the truth, the honest explanation and description of what the topic was. I wanted to review an item. At the same time, though, I wanted to give them like a tutorial on how to do it or how to use the item. So, and there was something that I used to, back in my school days, I used to call people that did that unwantingly, like when they get up in your face and they try to tell you how it's done. I used to call them know-it-alls. And like, man, that guy's a know-it-all, you know, like as a negative. And when I thought about my show, I kind of wanted to do like a play on terms, in that I'm basically getting in your face on my YouTube channel and I'm telling you how to do this, but also you have the ability to turn me off. You also have the ability not to watch the show. But I also realized that I did know it all. You know, it's like I'm sure there was things I didn't know. I'm not that conceited, but I knew a lot, and people kept coming to me, and I thought it was just common knowledge. You know, like how much BB weights were, or how, you know, what the difference between a Type 4 barrel and a regular barrel, and all this other stuff. You know, so when they came to me and they started asking me these questions, like, I can't believe you're asking me such a stupid question. I mean, it's like, I was like, I can't believe, like, one of the, and I don't mean to insult or anybody, but I had my own, I'm going to kind of go back and say how stupid some people were. I had a YouTube channel specifically dedicated to airsoft, okay? And it's the same channel, it's just we've expanded. So I've always been a gamer, and I've always uploaded video games and stuff, but really my focus was Airsoft. Okay, so everybody assumed that Airsoft, Airsoft, Airsoft. Even though I had like MechWarrior videos, I had Star Trek Online videos, I had Elder Scrolls Online video, I had all kinds of videos on there. But City Heroes was another big one. But okay, I'm digressing. And if you're new to the channel, I do that a lot. I digress quite a bit. But okay. So these guys were on the channel, or on my videos, and they would post these comments, which I probably should never have read, but I like to read my comments just so that I could say, give them the answer, especially on a show that I called Know It All. If I have a show called Know It All, I'm going to go in there and try to reply to questions, and if not, if I hear this question a lot, I'll make a Know It All video about it. Okay. So this is how stupid these people are. And I'm not going to say people. I'm just going to say there's a few of them that ask this question. I have a YouTube channel dedicated to Airsoft, and in every single video that I made for Airsoft, every one of them, I would put an advertisement in there about ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. I would say, make sure you email me at Derek@ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. Or I would say, if you need to buy, if you're looking for these BBs, get them at ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. If you're looking for this gun, get it at ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. And then when I would go to a video that was totally unrelated to an item that I sold, let's say it was an explanation of how to adjust your hop-up. I'm just going to use that as an example. I would say, you know, this is how you adjust your hop up, and blah blah blah, and for all your airsofting needs, go to ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. Okay, so in every single video, and then I would do a gun review. Like I would take the M4 from King Arms or something like that, and I would do a review, and I'd talk about how great the barrel was, and how accurate it was, and how fast the rate of fire was, and it would always be on a positive note, right? Of course. But if it did have something crappy about it, then I would point that out. But usually, I'm not going to talk negative about a product that I'm selling on my website. Okay? All right, so far. In the comments, a guy would say, wow, that's an awesome gun. Where did you get it? I would get that question probably on every other video I put out about a product. Wow, those BBs are awesome. Where'd you get them? I think they got excited about the BBs, and this is the comment I made a long time ago. I think they got excited about whatever the item was before they finished watching the video. They didn't. It shows the attention span of a viewer, and just like this video today, I started it 30 minutes ago. We had viewership had gone up to, I've been monitoring this, the viewership goes up to about 4 or 5 and then drops back down to 0, and then it goes back up to like 5 or 8, 0, and people stay for about 15 minutes, and that's their total attention span. So if I made a video in Airsoft that was over 15 minutes long, people never saw the ending. You know, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, they just watched the meat and potatoes, the beginning part of the video, and they threw out the dessert. They didn't bother with it. It's because at the end of the video, I would say, and you can get this at ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. And do they just assume that I'm working for ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com and that I was only directing them there because I was required to, and that's not actually where I got my guns from? Or did they realize I was the owner of the company? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I digress again. Let me get back on track again. I'm sorry, I got sucked into Airsoft. there was a show on my YouTube channel I called Know It All, right? And it was because, and I gave tutorials about airsofting gear and equipment, and and more. But like when I was gonna show, and I called it Know It All because it kind of implied that I knew it all, but it also, I felt like it kind of gave you kind of a little giggle, thinking like, man, that guy thinks he knows it all. Or, and I don't care if you think that, or man, that guy's funny. You know, he thinks, he's saying that he's a know-it-all, and know-it-alls are jerks. So why is he calling himself that? And that's really all it was, right? So, but so I'm gonna reboot this show, and it's going to be called Know It All. And what it is, it's going to be kind of like a talk show like this, where I talk about a subject or a topic in Star Citizen or any other games that I might be playing at the time or in the future, and just basically give you my take. And also, if there is something that I need to give you a tutorial on, like here's an example of a guy that asked me just recently about for me to provide him a tutorial on how to set up his joystick controls in Star Citizen, right? Because I showed like the lead, trail, pip swaps and how they affect your gameplay. I put that out, and then in there, I think it was that video that he said, could you really help me with my joystick? Because I haven't really figured out how to set up my joystick yet. And I was thinking to myself, if he's asking me that question, there's probably 1,000 other people that have that same question, that have probably searched in YouTube to try to find that kind of a video to help them out. So I looked, and I didn't really see anything that explained it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to make that video. And basically, I took my X55. I took my X55 and HOTAS and went into YouTube and created a Star Citizen how to adjust the joystick. And he came back, man, thanks, really appreciate it. Couldn't blah, blah, blah. Okay, that could have been, or that would have been the perfect time or use of the title Know It All. I could have put Know It All, how to set up your X55 in Star Citizen, or something like that. So look for know-it-alls in the future. I plan to put those know-it-alls in there. Okay, I'm going to go back probably to some of my older videos and change them to know-it-alls. And yeah, so look for that. All right, now let's talk about my dislikes and likes about Star Citizen. Yeah, I'm sorry that the stream freezes on you. Yeah, that happens sometimes to people that have got bad internet connections. I don't, and I apologize for that. I do keep an eye on my FPS right here, and it's only 30. I'm not streaming at 60, and it is 1080, but it's not like I think it's only 29 FPS that I'm streaming at, and right here it's showing 30 because it's probably 29.9 or something like that. And it's only got 1700 bits per second, so it's not like I'm streaming at something incredibly high. And if you're having a hard time watching the stream, if it keeps freezing on you or stuttering, then I'd recommend checking your own computer settings or checking your video, maybe getting a higher internet connection. Because and I'm gonna tell you this because you're not the first person to tell me that, okay? Or you might be the same person. I don't remember, because I don't really keep track of everybody on my channel's names, right? But there was a video probably a few months ago where a guy came on and he was all about himself, and he would always make comments about what was going on the stream, about how it was negatively impacting his viewing ability and his, you know, his experience and stuff like that. Kind of like what you're doing. And then he says, can you lower your video quality so I can watch it? And I was thinking, you know, sure, why not? I'll lower my video quality so you can watch it. And as soon as I lowered my video quality, he bailed out of the stream. He went somewhere else. Okay. So I felt like, man, what a dick. Like, the guy asked me to lower my video quality for him, and then he bails on me. Basically, you know, and I don't care if you stay or go, you know, and if you've got things to do, go do it. If you want to stay and watch and hear what I have to say, stay. I appreciate it. You know, if you want to back me up and help me out and have good like interactions on the stream, then I'm totally okay with that, and I encourage that. I want that. But I don't want players or video watchers, viewers, to come onto the stream, make requests, and then leave. It made me feel like he was, I don't know if there's a term for it. If not, I probably should start a term for it. Someone who channel surfs, asking everyone to lower their video quality. I wonder if there's a person, or if that's is a shark. Maybe I'll call him a shark. He's someone that comes into my channel, hashtag shark. Okay, no. He comes into the channel and asks to lower the video quality. And so my response from now on, and because I thought about it, I said, you know, I was trying to help this guy out, and he left. He might have had somewhere to go. It's no big. It wasn't a big deal. It was just that it impacted me. It made me think, like, why did I lower my quality of my video for all my other viewers because one guy came in and was being a shark? You know, he asked me to lower my stream quality. I did because I thought I was being a nice guy, when in fact I was being the dick. I was the one causing a lower video quality for all my other video viewers. So no, I am not adjusting my video quality. If it's too high, then get a system that can handle it. If it's too low, I'm sorry, it's how much my system can handle. My system can handle more. My system, I've even tried it. My system can handle 60 FPS. My broadcasting software, let me rephrase that. My broadcasting software can handle 60 FPS. I can broadcast a stream like this in 60 FPS with a high upload speed because I've got 50 megs up and down. I feel lucky. Okay, so I've got 50 megs up and down. I can broadcast on 60 FPS. My system has no problem with that. But then, when I start running a game like Star Citizen that requires quite a bit of my video resources, and I broadcast in 60 FPS, my system honestly starts to stutter. I get a little lag in the game. It still broadcasts it just fine, but I get lag and it stutters inside the game, and I ain't having that. So I lowered it back down to 30, where now, and that's just fine. Okay. So now there's another thing you could do. Is that Charo? Hey Charo, there's another thing you can do. You could go to your Twitch cookies, and you could delete all those cookies. You could go into your Windows and delete all their cookies. If you're using Internet Explorer, that would be an explanation, because Internet Explorer, in my opinion, is the worst browser out there. I personally use Chrome. I know a lot of people use Firefox, but Chrome is where I'm at. And you know, I hear a lot of people say Chrome sucks, Chrome sucks. I'm the other way around. Whenever I use Internet Explorer, I feel like it sucks. Like it goes so slow, it's choppy, it doesn't do any good. But Chrome just goes smooth like glass. So I'm a Chrome fan. Okay. Well, we've had 40 minutes of me talking about everything but Star Citizen.
And I haven't even finished my coffee.
Okay, so let's talk about Star Citizen. Okay, no, I'm not even going to talk about Star Citizen yet. Let's talk about gamers. Gamers. There's a show that I watch on YouTube, and you guys, I recommend it. If you're not offended by foul language, if foul language doesn't affect you, I recommend checking out this guy's stream, Corpse-A-Lot. Okay, Corpse-A-Lot he's like an old WoW gamer, so World of Warcraft, from back in the original days of World of Warcraft, and he has a lot of insight towards MMOs and gaming in general. He's very, very smart, very articulate about what he's trying to say. He's a really good streamer. The only complaint that I have about him is his language, but that's okay. If you are not afraid to go hear a lot of this F words, S words, C words, B words, if you're not afraid to hear all that, then he's actually if you can see past that, is what I'm trying to say. If you can see past that, you can actually, he's a really good streamer. He has a lot of insight. Now, yesterday I watched a video of his that he filmed like a week or two ago. And it was on the Order 1886, right? Which is a horrible game. It's the worst game ever made, right? So, but he gets out there and he talks about that game. Okay, that's no problem. But then in the second half of the video, he talks about players. And what starts him on this is the fact that that game, you don't play the game. You watch the game. It plays itself. And it's like the old Dragon Ace game, or whatever that game was called, where Space Ace and Dragon, I want to say Dragon Story, Dragon Tale, or it wasn't Dragon Ace, it was Dragon something else. But all you did in that game, that's a video game where you watched the movie, and then when it came time to hit left or right, because those are the only two buttons you had, or you didn't even have a button, you have a switch, a lever. And you held the lever, and then at the right time you would go left. Waited, watch, right. Watch, left. Watch, left. Watch, right. And that was it. That's all you did in the whole game, right? That's what 1886 is. It's the same type of game. So you have to just accept it for that kind of a game and go on. He wanted it to be something like a Call of Duty, or a Destiny, or something like that. That's the kind of game he expected it to be, but that's not. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting off. So he had this insightful discussion about players, and I learned something from him, and I am so grateful that I learned this. I mean, because I'm a know-it-all, but I love to learn about different things from different casters and everything out like that. Okay, we're talking about the word player, okay? Because you have a couple of different types of gamers, or different ways you can play a game. You can play a game, or you can operate a game. This is coming from him, Corpse-A-Lot. You can play a game, or you can operate a game. And he was saying that the Order 1886 was a game that you operated, right? You just sat there in front of your computer and you operated it, and you watched the video and you operated it, and you pressed a bunch of keys that the game required that you press. You didn't actually play the game. Okay, and so what he brought up the definition of player, or to play, and where it originally came from. He said it originally came from before there were even computers, before there were video games. There were still players, and he didn't mean the guys that beat up their girlfriends. Just laughed when he said that. But what he was saying was, when you went to a theatrical show with a stage, the people on the stage were players. You went to a play and you watched the players. So what did the players do? The players took on the role of a character, and they acted. The act of playing was called acting. So you acted on stage, but the noun, that was the verb, the noun was player. So so you played, act, and you I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. The players were on the stage and they were acting, and they had a persona that was a character, and they were displaying that for an audience. Okay, and so then when you take your kid home and they play Army or Cowboys and Indians, they're playing a game, right? So they're players. They're acting. They act in their own imagination. They act out a role, and that makes them a player. Okay. So there, and I was like, that was pretty insightful. That's pretty deep. So what that's saying is, when you're operating your computer game, you're only a player if you are immersing yourself as a character in the game. So I was thinking, okay, well, that makes you a player, right? So you're play acting. So you don't play every game. There are games out there that you don't always play. There's games out there that you just operate, like The Order 1886. Okay, so because it's all cutscenes, 100% cutscenes, and every now and then it asks you to press a button, like X. And you just keep pressing X until the game's over. Oh my gosh. Okay, so back to Star Citizen. Okay, Star Citizen. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I am going to play Star Citizen. I'm going to immerse myself as my character in the universe, and I am going to go on missions and portray my character to other players, and I will be a play actor in the game. I'll be playing. So I'll be doing a lot of role playing in the game. Now, there's some things that I don't like about Star Citizen, or maybe not dislike, but just some things that I'm concerned about, or I do dislike it. Okay, let's just say I dislike it. It's taken an hour for me to get to this point, or 15 minutes. I'm sorry, I've been all over the place. When this is on YouTube, you can just fast forward it to this point. It's a little late for me to tell you that now, but the persistent universe. Let's talk about the persistent universe. Let's talk about players versus NPCs. Just a second. Let me get my thoughts straight. Okay, players versus NPCs. Chris Roberts has stated that he wants to have somewhere around a 9 to 1. So that's 100%, 90 to 100, 90 to 10%, 90% to 10% NPCs to players. So what that means, that's a full 100%. Now, I'm sure that that number was just kind of thrown out there as like, let's see if it hits, you know, that kind of stuff. So I'm sure that's not an exact number. It's not going to be hardlined into that number, first of all. Some people say 10 to 1 because they just automatically round it up to 10 because they're adding the 9 and the 1, making 10 or 100%, and so they go 10 to 1. Well, that really makes it 110% if you think about it. He meant 9 to 1. But I understand that's not the exact number, and 10 to 1 just makes it easier to think about for those that are weak-minded. So 9 to 1. What that means is for every player in the game, and I'm just going to say maybe we got, I'm going to use this as an example. No, I'm not. You got one player in the game. You, or me, or anyone else. There will be 9 other major players, NPCs, AI, in the game. That doesn't mean the universe is populated by only 9 to 1. That's not what it means. And I want people to understand this. I have a great understanding of this methodology. So let me kind of explain it. You have, and I'm gonna try to break it down to people so they can so you guys can understand it. And if you already understand this and you agree or disagree, feel free to comment in the comments. You know, if you think what I'm saying is BS, then that's your opinion. But let me explain to you the way it really is. You got yourself. You land on a planet. Let's use ArcCore Stanton or Stanton, I should say, is the system. ArcCore is the planet. So let's say you land on ArcCore and you go to area, what is it, area 18? Okay, so you go to area 18 and you're walking around the shops. And it's you and 9 other NPCs walking around. Or it's you and your buddy and 18 NPCs walking around. You and your squad of 10 guys and 90 NPCs walking around. Okay, that's probably more likely. If the zone is limited to 100 players, you could expect to see 900 NPCs in that area. But that's not the case. That's not what Chris has said. He said a total of 100. A total. NPCs and players. Because whether or not you've got an NPC or a player there, it doesn't matter. The system still has to render him, still has to render his ship, still has to render his gun, still has to control his AI brain. It still has to process a lot of information for him, and it's not easier to put an NPC in a game as it is a player. Because a player, his AI is in his brain and his controls, and he tells the computer what he wants to do. The computer doesn't have to come up with that on its own. The rendering and stuff like that is obviously the same. But, so, you're not going to have 100 of your friends or 100 players in a zone and have 900 NPCs. Now I'm using the ground area 18 as an example. What you'll have is about 10 to 20 players with 90 to 180 NPCs. If they can get it that high. They're saying that they might have a limit of about 100. So what I'm trying to say is don't expect there to be some huge player battle. There could be. You could get 100 players in an area, but then there would be no NPCs. You know what I mean? Or no NPC ships, or however they organize that. And then space is going to be different too. But I'm talking about the planet. Okay. I'm getting to it in just a second. I'm trying to get to it. So my concern is with our player base. We have players that are in the forums, thousands, hundreds of thousands of these players are in Star Citizen. How many of them are in the forums? I'm going to say, actively posting this type of comment, probably very few. And when I say few, I mean 10,000 people. That's less than 10%. If the other 600,000 players are not posting this, and the 10%, 10,000, that seems like it's a high number, 10,000 players, but it's not. It's a small, minor, insignificant number compared to 600,000 players currently signed up for beta. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you get to alpha, what are you getting at? You're going to add another million maybe, let's just say. Let's go 1.5 million. Are those 10,000 players that big of a deal? No, they're a small, insignificant number. But this is my problem. I went from PU numbers to forum numbers, didn't I? I just kind of like shifted gears. Okay. Because they're related. What I'm trying to say is actually related, in that these 10,000 people are the ones that are adamant and vocal about the persistent universe that I'm about to talk about. And this is why I think that they need to just shut the hell up. First of all, they're the minority, and second of all, they're wrong. So they just need to be quiet about it and not worry about it until it gets locked in. Okay. So you got 10 to 1, or 9 to 1, as Chris has said. 9 to 1. And he said that he's only going to model the agents. Okay? Agents. And I don't mean secret agents. Secret agent man. No, that's not what I mean. I mean agents of, like Agent Smith, agents of the Master Control Program. The Universe Server, the Oracle, or whatever you want to call this thing, right? The thing's going to be controlling the universe in the background. It's going to be keeping track of billions of NPCs. Okay, probably. But in a very rudimentary way. I mean, very rudimentary. Like, let's say, I'm going to try to kind of explain this in a way that I can understand. Hopefully you can understand this too. There's a mission to take colonists from planet A to planet B. There needs to be 10 ships, each ship carrying 1,000 colonists. I'm just saying. I'm just making this up. So that would be 10,000 colonists. Okay. 9 of those ships will possibly be NPC ships that fly in, pick up these colonists, and fly out. Okay. That ship and its crew, let's say there's 4 agents on that ship. And they move around conducting business and operations and buying and selling cargo and carrying passengers and stuff like that. Those 4 will come in, grab the players, or grab the 1,000 colonists, which are not agents. That's really just a number. It just attaches a number to their ship saying, in carrying 1,000 colonists. And then it'll fly to point A or point B, and it'll do its thing. And all of this will never be seen by a player anywhere. It'll be not on anybody's screen. It will not be in the persistent universe. It will not be anywhere. It'll be inside the master control program. It'll be inside the universe server. It's keeping track of where all of its little agents are moving inside this server. We are in the persistent universe, and we, that one little ship with maybe 4 players, fly to this planet, and we pick up 1,000 colonists, which we might see rendered, we might not, you know, a bunch of these colonists climbing on board the ship and getting into their little passenger compartments and stuff like that. And then we fly them from point A to point B. But we were not the only ship to do it. There was 9 other ships that did it. But do we see that? No. Do we hear about it? Possibly. It probably came on to our little communication saying, this ship's carrying this ship, this ship, and you're one of those ships. And you go, okay, cool, we're one of these ships, and we fly from point A to point B. So there are 9 other agents being simulated for every agent, for every player. But do you see them? No. Do you ever see them? Maybe. Maybe, yes, you see them. Maybe you're all landed at the same, maybe you're all dropping off the passengers all at the same time. You'll see them. But when you're in space, you'll never see them. Okay? And so don't, these people are all like caught up in the fact that they're always going to be running into players all the time, and they're going to be running into NPCs all the time, and they're going to be distracting them from their work, or they're going to be pirating them, or they're going to have to be protecting them, and blah, 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 blah. The answer is no. You will not be doing that all the time. The background server, and I'm just calling it the master control program because that's not really what it is, but it's a universe server, but I'm calling it the MCP. Master control program understands what it's doing. It's moving millions of agents. And Chris has said he's anticipating it being around 20 million agents. Okay, 20 million agents. If you have 20 million agents and only 1 million players, that's 20 to 1, right? Not 9 to 1. Okay, so the universe is vast. You could cram 20 million people into one system, and it still would not be packed to where you're going to see a person all the time, right? Because you got multiple, many miles between planets. You have many, many miles between stars and jump points and planets and space stations. And okay, so you got a space station, what, 100 players are there? That's what you're going to see. You're going to see 100 players. Are all of them hostile towards you? No. Are any of them hostile towards you? Probably not. Doesn't matter. You've got 2,000 NPCs there. So can you fit them all in the same instance? No. So it's you and about a dozen other guys with about 100 NPCs in an instance. So don't freak out. Don't say, oh my gosh, I'm going to be attacked by pirates all the time. Or you're a pirate and say, oh my gosh, I'm going to have all this opportunity to take on the players. No. You're not. You're not. I don't mean to hurt anybody's enjoyment of the game. Or what I'm trying to do is enhance it. Because you're going to see that more often than not, you're going to be with NPCs exclusively. There's going to be nothing but computer-driven agents in your universe. Every now and then, a player's going to show up. It's not going to be a swarm of players. It's not going to be like 100 players, because you won't be able to fit them in an instance. You might get a dozen players. And if you're in a group of about a dozen, or maybe 10 or whatever, you're not going to be like constantly outnumbered. There's not going to be any of these 1,000 ship convoys, you know, with hundreds of fighters and capital ships all over the place. That's not going to happen. I can see maybe with the new instancing system how they're not where they're going to create multiple instances within multiple instances. Yeah, you might get hundreds of players with thousands of NPCs, but we're going to have to wait to see. And even so, I'm never going to run into them. You know, I'm not. You know, so my bitch is for people to stop bitching about the persistent universe and running into other players. And what sparked this was my own squadron. My own squadron has this misconception or preconception that this is a PvP game. And it's not. That they have this misconception or this interpretation that when they jump into their ship and they fly out into the persistent universe, that they're instantly going to be attacked by 100 players. And players are going to jump on players, and it's going to be nothing but player versus player fighting and all the different systems, just like Arena Commander, right? They think it's going to be squadron battle or battle royale all the time, everywhere. And it's the farthest from that you can imagine. That is not going to be anywhere near the case. It's good. I keep telling them, and I'm trying to educate them. Chris Roberts doesn't want that. He doesn't want players to just constantly, nonstop, all the time, fighting with other players. He wants there to be adventure. He wants there to be exploration. He wants there to be merchant, you know, building up your cargo, taking your cargo from point A to point B. He does want pirates, okay? He does want players to be able to play any role they want. If they want to be a pirate, they can. But who are they pirating? Other players? Probably not. Maybe, sometimes, rarely, yes. But most likely they're going to be pirating NPC ships. The NPCs are going to be the police. When you are a merchant and you're going to be attacked by pirates, they're going to be NPC pirates. 9 out of 10 times they're going to be NPCs. So with a 20-to-1 ratio, and I'm just using that loosely, it's really right now, if there's 20 million NPCs, it's like a 40-to-1 because there's only like 500,000 of us. But if we upped it to 1 million, it would be 20-to-1. If we upped it to 2 million, which is being generous, I think that it would still be only 10-to-1, right? So relax is what I'm trying to say. Relax. You're going to be playing against the computer most of the time. 5% or so of the time you'll be actually playing with or against other players. Because if you put 2 players together, that actually halves the opportunity for other players. So if you have 2 players together, you're looking at maybe a 3% chance of getting another player involved. If you have 3 players, you're looking at maybe a 1% chance of getting another player involved, just because of the amount of NPCs involved. not because and there's also a PvP slider. So those players that want PvP, and there are a few of those, 10% ish, the ones that are constantly posting on the forums, those are demanding PvP. Those are the guys. But from my polls and my questionnaires that I've given other players online, most of them want PvE, which is player versus environment, or players versus NPCs. And that's what Chris Roberts is going to give you. So relax, chill out. Don't be worried about all this player versus player content. That is only Chris Roberts and CIG testing the system to make sure it works, and to check the play balance and what weapons are working and what weapons aren't working and all of that. It's not the way the actual game is going to play. We're not going to be locked into an Arena Commander PvP type situation 100% of the time. Not even 50, not even 25% of the time. 5% of the time. Okay. All right. Well, that was my discussion. I'm going to take a very short break, and then we'll come back with some Mass Effect. I'll see you in just a minute.